All right. Brakta Yahweh.
Brakta Yahweh.
Brakta Yosha.
Brakta Yahweh.
Brakta Yahweh.
Brakta Yahweh.
Brakta Yosha.
Brakta Yahweh.
Bashem.
Bashem.
Rakah.
Rakah.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Give honor to the apostles, the elders. Salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity.
All right. This lesson is going into sinning is our kryptonite. This was spiritually inspired by the brother Barack Allah in the LA camp. So, the word kryptonite, that was like a word that was used in the Superman comics back in the 1940s or whatever. And it goes into it was like a radioactive mineral that weakened the character Superman. So it made him weak. So in a spiritual sense, who are the real Superman or the superheroes in today's times? That's going to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans today. And what is our kryptonite? What makes us weak? By breaking the laws of Yahweh Bashar. And these other nations, they know this. And so that's why they systematically design everything to overthrow us off by having that connection with our true power, Yahweh Bashar. So we're going to get the word kryptonite in the free dictionary, and it says something that presents a particular threat to one that is otherwise powerful. So that threat that was, that hurt us or pretty much separated us from our power was us sinning. So Esau, the so-called Caucasian race today, he knew that, and he knows that along with the other nations, how to keep overthrowing us off by us disconnecting from Yahweh Bashar. So they throw all these different tools out here, all these different things just to keep our vibration from Yahweh Bashar. But they know once we have that connection with Yahweh Bashar, it's over for them.
I got a precept for you. This is Genesis 3:3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, ye shall die. Going to philosophy, right? And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For the Most High doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. All right. And the reason why I brought that out is because basically, at that time frame, Adam was programmed basically not to sin. However, by accepting that different philosophy, that would promoted him to go off. And now when you go off, or when he went off, now he knows the full spectrum of everything. Because basically, in order to be a judge, you have to know evil. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because you have to be balanced. So just like the brother said, but that came with a price. So the more our people sin, at the same time frame, what happens? It continues to create distance with your power, man.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy, that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your power, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he would not hear.
What separates us from Yahweh Bashar, our iniquities, our sins, our transgressions. And that's why people still following those same steps today. But hopefully, Lord willing, we're a part of that number. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, we get it right, and we can show the people, the ones of our people that died on this side, how to do it in this kingdom,
Because the scripture said at the beginning, it said, the Lord said, it ain't like his hand is too short that he can't reach us, or that his ears are closed that he can't hear us, but it's our iniquities, man. So the Lord letting he doesn't have any fault. Ain't nothing wrong with him. It's within us, man. And that's what our people don't realize. You got, niggas questioning the Most High, why this and why that. And the scripture tell you exactly why, man. What separates you from your power, man. Because when we return to that glory, all right, we rule. We take down the heathen. We're prosperous, man. But when we go straying after the heathen, all right, then we're taken down. Then we're destroyed as a people, man. So that's the reason, man. It's within you, man. Niggas like Eric Spears. I think I heard Eliashua mention Willie D. He's promoting atheism now. These niggas, they do these things like the Most High has flock. Like there's nothing wrong with them niggas. But look at you got Eric Spears, a Hollywood star. You got Willie D. All right, gangster rap star, and all that promotes death to our people, man. So you part of the problem, man.
This Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently to the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So we kept this agreement, with Yahweh Shai, that he was going to set us up above all nations. That's as it says in Deuteronomy 7:6, that we were a holy people above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So that means we are superior to all these other nations. Why? Because the law, statutes, and commandments was given to us as a nation, not to these other nations, man. So that what made us stronger, and these other nations knows this,
Verse 2. Deuteronomy 28:2. And all these blessings shall come upon thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power. And this verse 7. And the Lord and the Most High shall cause thee thy enemies to rise up against thee and be smitten before thy face, and thou shalt come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. Deuteronomy 28:9. The Most High shall establish thee in a holy people unto himself, as he swore unto thee, if thou shalt keep thy commandments of the Most High thy power, and walk in his ways. Verse 10. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Most High, and shall be afraid of thee.
So that's the point right there. By us keeping that connection with Yahweh Shai, these other nations, they're afraid of us. Look at our forefathers back from King David, King Solomon, a host of our leaders of the nation of Israel, man. These other nations were afraid of them because they knew that connection that we had with Yahweh Shai, All right.
I got something, bro. And this is Deuteronomy 4:5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me, and ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Verse 7, for what nation is there so great who have the Most High so nigh unto them as the Lord Yahweh our power is in all things that we call upon him for?
That's right. What made us nigh or close to Yahweh Shai, just the law, statutes, and commandments. It's that simple,
That binding contract. You know what I'm saying? But of course, if you break a contract, then what happens? Then you have to suffer the consequences. You get penalized. Like if you ain't paid your fucking water bill, what does Esau want to do? He's gonna send you a notice, and then what's gonna happen? Eventually, if you don't pay, he's gonna cut it off.
So that's exactly how it did to us. He cut us off from being a nation pretty much to him. That's the importance of Yahweh Shai coming back into the fold by connecting the elect of the nation of Israel and marrying them back to Yahweh.
And when your water get cut off, you niggas not gonna ask the water company why you doing this.
Exactly.
You gonna ask them why question, man, because that you came up short on your end, man. Well, we came up short on our end of the bargain, man.
You already programmed to know that it's coming to the 1st of the month or the 5th of the month. I need to go ahead and pay this, that, and that. So how much more, keeping the laws?
Yeah.
All right. So prayer Azariah. All right.
One talking on top.
Yeah, 1, 2, verse.
All right. This is prayer of Azariah, verse 1. And they walked in the midst of the fire, praising the Most High and blessing the Lord.
Yeah, so it's talking to about 3 brothers, Meshach, Abednego, and Shadrach.
Verse 2. Then Azariah stood up and prayed on this matter, and opening his mouth in the midst of the fire, said, Blessed art thou, O Lord, power of our fathers. Thy name is worthy to be praised and glorified forevermore. For thou art righteous in all the things that thou hast done to us. Yea, true are all thy works, thy ways are right, and all thy judgments true. Verse 5, and all the things that thou hast brought upon us and upon the holy city of our of our fathers, even Jerusalem, thou hast executed true judgment, for according to truth and judgment didst thou bring all these things upon us because of our sin.
So that's why we were broken as a nation, because of our sins, man. The sins of our forefathers, and we are our forefathers coming back in the reincarnation. So that we are paying for our penalties that we did or we broke against Yahweh Shai. So that's why we in this situation. If you ever want to know why the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans today are in that low situation, that's because the Most High put us there for breaking His laws, statutes, and commandments. You know. Yeah.
Back into the scripture.
6.
Copy slip. I'm trying to get your piece. Verse 6. For we have sinned and committed iniquity, departing from thee. Verse 7. In all things have we trespassed and not obeyed thy commandments, nor kept them, neither done as thou hast commanded us, that it might go well with us. Verse 8. Wherefore all that thou hast brought upon us, everything that thou hast done to us, thou hast done in true judgment. Verse 9. And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of the Most High, and to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world.
So in this time frame, they was talking about, in that time frame, it was talking about, King Nebuchadnezzar. But you fast forward things nowadays, who's that wicked king now? Esau. You know what I'm saying?
Daughter of Babylon.
Yeah, daughter of Babylon.
Esau is that Pharaoh. Esau is, the
unjust king.
daughter of Babylon. Yep, the wicked Assyrians. Because they want some hard captivities, for our people. But under this captivity, the Lord, He put the spirit on Esau to go harder than all those previous nations that we used, those previous empires that we was in captivity to, man.
That's right.
And
Moses said lawless enemies, man. So they didn't care nothing about the laws of what we supposed to keep, because they heathens. It wasn't instilled in them to keep the laws, statutes, commandments, So by being unjust and things as such, they caused us to go more astray from Yahweh Shai.
Go ahead, bring yours up first.
Like this Hosea 1, this Hosea 4:1 and 2. Hear the word of the Most High, ye children of Israel, for the Most High have come to serve controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there are no truth, no mercy, no knowledge of the Most High in the land.
Yeah, because the Most High has a bone to pick out with Esau, man. Because right now the rulership is in his hands by Yahweh Shai. So by the rulership in his hands, look how he's misleading this whole world, man. Look how everything is thrown off. Look at the vibration of this whole earth right now by the hands of this so-called white man.
And like the brothers, you said, will it be? Some other niggas say, yeah, like they don't know the true power of the earth, because it's really no knowledge of Yahweh Shai in this land.
Yeah.
So that's why our people doing what they want to do. Because if they knew that the Lord, so-called black man, this and they come back to do what the Bible said, the people want to do the shit they do. You know what I'm saying? They have no fear. Like Bruce had no fear. He had no fear at all. But if they knew the fear of Yahweh Shai, knew what he really about, they would fear him. But Esau don't care about the Lord at all. Because Esau is in control. This is the world. He the God of this world.
That's right. Not to harp back on that nigga Boosie, but but what made him talk like he was talking about, the Heavenly Father? He did that voice like they do in those movies, like a so-called white man talking with them, because you have no fear. You know what I'm saying? But you had that fear instilled of you. The true history of our power, Yahweh Shai, you wouldn't even say shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nigga, anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because to receive the type of lifestyle you have to be a lower level Freemason. So you understand that the Most High deals with both sides. That's why, and the reason why I say this, because Pusha T had a song a couple years ago. He said, I pray to the Most High on both sides. So these niggas know, man. And if you didn't know, then those are still idle words, which are unprofitable, which makes you marked for death, Captain.
Well, I'm saying he don't know just to have that fear.
Yeah.
Not saying that he don't know that we the people, but he don't know to have that fear. Like he don't know that ancient history of Yahweh Shai. He don't know why they call him Al-Shai. You know what I'm saying? Terrible demon-like power. because this so-called white man has pushed this vibration out of wickedness. That's why it's no truth or no knowledge of Yahweh Shah in the land by this so-called white man, right? You know what I'm saying? He pushed that vibration out and have our people thinking, oh, he's all love and God's good all the time. All the time, God's good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Our people have that vibration because of this so-called white man right now.
Yeah, you're right. I take that back because if you think about it, in the 80s and 90s, motherfuckers had fear. They didn't know the truth, but they still feared the Most High. Because if you stole from somebody, or if you even said the Lord's name in vain, goddamn, at that time frame, you would be shook. Oh shit, I'm gonna get struck or something, or I may go to sleep and not wake up. But now Esau them just did this plaster campaign of you can say whatever you want and still make it into the entry gates of heaven.
That's right. Now look, when we was going, before we came to this knowledge, when we was going to church, now we would be scared to say so-called curse words in the church around. You know what I'm saying? We feel like that's disrespecting the Heavenly Father. But look at people nowadays, they twerking out there in the church. But back in the day, we were scared to say so-called curse words.
Jay, matter of fact, so you said that, like they twerking, they playing city girls in church. Yeah. Back then when we were coming up, you would turn your radio down when you passed by the church. But now they wild out in the churches because, like you said, Esau got the Most High painted as like he Mr. Rogers or something. Like he born in something, man. That's why the Lord gonna show so much power and wrath in this time of judgment, man. That's why it's gonna be mass death. This the talking period right now. What we doing, man? When the Lord shut up the prophets and bring out judgment, there will be nothing else said. There will be no more warnings, man. Nothing but death, horrible deaths that's going to go forth, man.
This verse 2, it said, by swearing and lying and killing, stealing, and committing adultery, they break out and blood touching blood. This what's going on. This what's going on in America because, like I said, Esau Esau don't have no fear, and he pushing that vibrator and he basically do what you want to do.
He controls, like we always say, he controls the narrative. Therefore, he can write the script how he want to do it. But by the power of Yahweh Shah, first and foremost. So that's really the stumbling block that Yahweh Shah is using Esau to do on 2/3 of the nation of Israel.
The guys of this world. That's why people blinded by me. We got some precepts. Okay. I still got to have when you going.
Bring yours out.
Okay, come. Now then, just go to the account of Judith. Now this was a time when you had the Syrian fading into the Babylonian Empire that was conquering, and they wanted to conquer, Israel, But during that time frame, all right, you had a woman named Judith, who had to shake, the elders of Israel back into shape because they were losing the faith, So she just inspired them to get back right, man. She wasn't a leader, but she inspired their leaders to get back right, man, to be protected by the Lord. All right, so now this is the heathens discussing Israel, because before you go to war, you have counsel. All right, you don't just, it ain't like a nigga culture. You get mad, all right, and then react off impulse, man. All right, the way nations go to war, they will have counsel and they will try to study their enemy, study their strengths, and study their weaknesses, man. So when it came for Israel, when they were speaking and having counsel on Israel, inquiring of Israel, this is what a Hamanite, all right, which would be a so-called Japanese of today, all right, was saying about Israel. All right, and this Judith 5:20. He says, now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up and we shall overcome them.
So it's all about gain to these other nations, man. I'm saying? I always try to find like a good way, see what's going on. That's when they overtake us, man. Because these other nations, they pretty much are like accessories after the fact. You know what I'm saying? They know exactly what they did, man.
And the elites know this. The people that have the power and the resources of the planet Earth, they know this scripture. They know Judah 5:20, man. All right, and you can tell. Look at the Country Music Awards, and then look at the Grammys, man. You see the different vibration they pushing, man, because they want to keep Israel the most homosexual, fagged out, adulterous, wicked, murdering, stealing nation on the earth, you know, so we can stay at the bottom, so we can be ruined, man. You know? That's right. And in this verse 21, this is the point. It said, but if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by. It says, lest the Lord defend them and their power before them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So ain't nothing you can do with Israel when we are in when we have obedience, man. All right.
And you know what? And what shows you that is the blueprint, Yahushua, because Yahushua had that spiritual connection with the Most High. Why? Because he never sinned. Proof in the pudding, when those sins of Israel came upon Yahushua, what happened? He felt the Most High's presence leave from him. Why? Because the Most High cannot behold sin. So when all those sins of Israel, along with Yahushua's sins, came upon him, the Most High had to look off. But up until that point, he always felt that presence because he never broke the law, statutes, and commandments. He was programmed spiritually to be perfect.
And then it also shows you that the Most High has emotions, but he's not governed by it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, for you niggas that's governed by your emotions out there, just throw that out there, man.
Yeah.
You see?
The key characteristics of a true man is to be long suffering, you know what I'm saying, and to have the ability to control your emotions.
Right.
Hey, can I bring something up? Hey, this is 2 Maccabees 7 and 18. After him also they brought the 6, who being ready to die said, be not deceived without cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our power. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us.
And it shows accountability.
Mm-hmm.
See, the elect gonna come to the understanding and accept the accountability of our offenses, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the elect are motivated, you know, to be diligent in his work, man. To treat our brother a certain way, man. You know, to make sure we're feeding the sheep, man. You know, to govern ourselves in the spirit, man, because we know what the type of death that we're worthy of because of our disobedience.
That's right.
And also the elect not gonna be proud because we understand all the wrong that we have did before we come into the truth, man. And that's even in this lifetime. We don't even know the other reincarnation, what the hell we did, man. You see?
Now this account was going into when Antiochus was basically putting these 7 brothers to death. And verse 19, but think not thou that takest in hand to strive against the Most High, that thou shalt escape unpunished. Because Shekinah made a key point saying that they are accessories out the fact. And if you know anything about those accessories, they go down too. So by you being that sword and utilizing that whooping stick based on the will of the Most High, then you have to pay for being that instrument. You know?
Yeah. They could have came out and spoke, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this is wrong, you know, we not with it or whatever. And they like, nah, we want to capitalize on this, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you see these other nations in our neighborhoods nowadays, you know?
That's the hell. Y'all gonna get it?
I gotta get something.
Okay.
I need Psalm 83 and 2. For lo, the enemies make a tumult, and they hate thee, have slaughter. Psalm 83 and 2. For lo, the enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Verse 3.
What that mean?
The head.
Yeah, it came on top. Trading places. Why going into the brother's lesson? You know, we broke the law, statutes, and commandments. A part of that agreement was for us to be the tail. There you go.
Yeah, Golden State.
No shoes on.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consult against thy hidden ones.
Yep. So this when these elites of the Edomite nation and also the other nations as well, they all come out together and see how can we keep these Israelites, you know what I'm saying, just keep them down, you know, from their power, have their connection from their power. Like how can we keep throwing more abortion clinics in their neighborhoods or more liquor stores? Let's add more churches right here. Matter of fact, let's get them the name Jesus and host Yoshua and things of that such and sell their truth. Hebrew names, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? They have all these different tactics how to continue to overthrow our people. You know what I'm saying? Let's take away their holy days and let's give them holidays. You know what I'm saying? They come all these different tactics, just keep that vibration low. Because they know the more we start sinning and the more we disconnect from Yahweh Shai, he's not going to come save us. You know what I'm saying? As it says in the scripture that if all the nation of Israel come together, face the east with their hands up, Yahweh Shai will come deliver us right then and there.
We see chariots immediately.
Yep.
You know, and then that proves that it states the hidden ones that we are the true hidden ones. Like literally, we are the true blue bloods. All right, because even if you know anything about your blood before it hits the air, it's blue. All right, so we're the blue bloods of this society, man. You know,
and they got it like let's set up, false leaders. You know what I'm saying? Continue to hide their identity. That's why you have all these different Judas ghosts amongst our people, man. They still just scattering our people away. You know.
And can I say something? And Esau, I mean, he's carnal, but he's doing spiritual things to keep the 2/3 separated from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Which goes to show you that this man works with outside forces on such a extremely high level, literally going into like the left-hand side of the Most High. Like this man is king and extremely intelligent in wickedness, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
In order to tell a lie, you gotta know the truth.
You have to know the truth.
And Esau have all these different tactics, like we were mentioning. You know what I'm saying? Like how you saying, let's put the woman over the man. Let's make her have a higher salary than the man in the household. That way, right there, that'll cause friction between the family household. Like Esau, he knows things like that. Let's make pork more affordable, and let's make seafood a delicacy. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows this because he knows our laws. So he has strategically did this. Is this all strategically designed to keep us astray from Yahweh Shai?
And where did he get it from? Satan. Going into it goes to show you that Satan knows the law, statutes, and commandments, because everything he was trying to get Yahweh to do was breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. Case in point, Matthew the 4th chapter. You know what I'm saying? So when Yahweh cut his ass, he had he rebuked him, and then Satan finally left. All right, so Yahweh did not bow down to Satan, but Esau did. And behold, the blessing of Esau, which he received from Isaac, and if you can receive that in the spirit, who was Yahweh. It's all spiritual, man. Everything is all spiritual.
No. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness.
Yep. So Esau, that bottle is pretty much like philosophies, these different doctrines, you know what I'm saying? How he knows what our true power wants us to do. Therefore, he sets up these different situations to keep us astray. You know what I'm saying? And as he said, what's the last part? It stated about the neighbor.
It says, back in Habakkuk 2:15, it says, that puttest thy bottle to him and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness.
Yep. So Esau, he'll playing all these tactics, then he'll hide his hand from, like, see the Most High, you see what your children are doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He does it.
Because we already, were being punished for our disobedience. All right, for what we were doing before Esau even came into power. You see? But what Esau did, he forwarded the affliction by keeping us in the state of disobedience, man. Like you had Nebuchadnezzar and different kings, like what's the name, Cyrus. They will allow us to keep our customs, man. If now we went off, we got punished. That was between us and the Most High. But Esau stepped in and he made it convenient for us to go off. He deceived us to go off, man.
Even Alexander let us keep our law, statutes, and commandments until that kingdom was broke down into like 4 parts.
He told him he had little leans. Then when we get Antiochus, he just went to a slaughterhouse, man. So one thing about it, Israel was sinning before Esau was in power. We was already, going off, man. But when Esau came into power, he just forwarded that affliction through the system he set up, man. That's why he known as what? The anti-Messiah, man.
Yeah, because Esau, he knows like even back in slavery days, like he knew that we had that connection with the Most High. That's why we was always into the Bible, things of that such. So when you saw the plantation, like, okay, let's set up these plantation Christianity pastors, to teach these people, lead them astray even more. Because he knows that connection that we had, man. And it's just the same thing nowadays. And why he set up all these different religions. And it's like this everywhere where our people at. Roman Catholicism over there with the so-called Northern Kingdom tribes at, and over here Christianity. And a lot of our people are going more into being atheists or being agnostic. I did a video not too long ago. They're showing how a lot of the so-called black women in America, they leave in Christianity and they follow the voodoo religion now. Why? Because it's so-called white men.
When you go to the incense store, you see a lot of nigga women. Then going back to the point you made about the Northern Kingdom, who pushed their Roman Catholicism on, man? That was the Spanish Empire, man. Under Queen Isabella and Ferdinand during the Spanish Inquisition. The nigga got on a boat, like Elder Yasha Wong say, the nigga got on the boat, all right, came over here and enslaved you niggas and put you niggas into paganism, man.
That's right. But Antiochus, right? He was like, if y'all do this, say you start following the laws, and he'll put you to death, right? Same we get over here. They took the Bible from me. If you read the Bible, and that's a problem. You start reading the Bible, they'll kill you for you reading the Bible. And same with like Antiochus. You start following the laws over there. It's the same thing, the same people.
Esau is tactical, man. He knows the connection that we have, man. He knows exactly who we are.
Same people.
He made a point. You bring out your point that I just back him up a little bit.
19.
Jeremiah 19. Sorry. This Jeremiah 19.
I'll read it out real fast, Scott. Hey, because he was like talking about how he was basically saying that how they was burning the scriptures. Did you say burning the scriptures, or they just kept us away?
Oh, burning.
Yeah, okay. And this is First Maccabees 1:56. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire. Verse 57. And whosoever was found with any book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death.
So you can run away as a slave, you get a limb chopped off or something like that. They go by your limbs. You know what I'm saying? But if you actually read the Bible, they put you to death. Why is that? You got to question things like that, man.
It's Jeremiah 19:3. And say, hear ye the word of the Most High, O King of Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Thus said the Most High of hosts, the Most High of Israel, behold, I bring evil upon this place, the which whosoever hear it, his ears shall tingle. Verse 4, because they have forsaken me and have entangled this place, estranged this place, and have burnt incense into another powers, whom neither they know nor their fathers have known, nor the king of Judah have filled this place with blood of the incense. And it's Jeremiah 19:4. Because they have forsaken me and have estranged this place and have burnt incense in it to other powers, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Judah and filled this place with blood of the innocent. Verse 5. They have built also the high places of Balaam, Baal, to burn their sons with fire for burnt offerings and to Baal.
So how people doing that nowadays? They doing that. They burn their children unto Baal. Like look at Will Smith for a good example. Look how he sacrificed his son. And you see, he's definitely a homosexual, man. He got that homosexual tensions all on him, man. Or Dwayne Wade, he did it. No, they actually do these things, man. Magic Johnson, and you also have a lot of these different celebrities how they sacrifice their children by getting a child, or either it's a female or a male ran through by the industry. You know what I'm saying? That's sacrificing your child unto these different gods, man.
You know, it's such a sick world, man, because basically they look at, well, they're not dead, they're still here, so we're going to let them be sacrificed in this manner. But at the same time frame, they're spiritually dead. They're better off actually dead.
That's right.
You know, unless you got other little boy wearing that, painting nails.
Yeah. Talking about Swiss B son?
Yeah.
Damn.
Gotta be there.
So those burnt offerings that you were sacrificing your kids to Baal, and that's just another name for Satan nowadays, you know.
To Molech, making them pass through the fire.
Yeah. And if you want to just do it like on a lower level, look how people are worshiping these holidays. You know what I'm saying? You say you want to do it for the kids, things and such. You know, pretty much you passing your children through that fire.
Yep.
You know?
Which I commanded not, nor spake it. Neither came it into my mind.
We're going to jump down to verse 7 to 8.
This is Jeremiah 19, 7 and 8. 7, I mean. I will make void of the counsel of Judah in Jerusalem in this place. I will cause them to fall by the sword because of their enemies, and by the hands of them that seek their lives, and their carcass will I give to be meat for the fowls of the heavens and for the beasts of the earth.
So this also, you just fast forward how things gonna be when Jacob's trouble happen, man. For our people that want to continually forsake Yahweh Shah, he's gonna get those bodies for the fowls of the earth. That's why it's gonna be a great famine out here. And like Apostle Ricard say, the Most High gonna put a spirit on these different birds that he's gonna make them go in hunger mode. And that's why they're gonna take a lot of our people, man, because there's gonna be a lot of dead bodies out here. You see the situation going on with the coronavirus, like the bird flu coming around. You know what I'm saying? These are things that Yahweh Shah, he's setting up on that great stage for 2/3 of the nation of Israel to be that sacrifice on that great altar, which is America. You know?
Verse 9 and verse 8. I will make this city desolate, and as in hissing, everyone that passing thereby should be astonished, and hiss because of all the plagues thereof.
And this is our kryptonite right here, verse 15.
Verse 15. Thus said the Most High of hosts, the power of Israel. Behold, I will bring upon this city and upon all her towns all the evil that I have pronounced against it, because they have hardened their necks. They have might not. Sorry. They have hardened their necks that they might not hear my words.
So that's pretty much why that was our kryptonite. It would weaken us as a nation, man, just by not hearing the ways of Yahweh Shah. And you see that condition right now, how people are. Just look at the vibration of our people nowadays, man. Esau pushing out that black culture. These are things that he strategically designed and set up for our people to just continue to follow straight. But once we start coming back to Yahweh Shah, that scares Esau. That's why nowadays you see he's deleting videos now. Why? Because a lot of our people are waking up to their heart. A lot of our people are coming back to the true names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. So that scares Esau. He's getting desperate now. So we'll get Hebrews 8 and 8.
This book of Hebrews. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, verse 8. It said, for finding fault with them, he said, behold, and you gotta make the point, he said he found fault with them, not about the people, because the law is righteous and holy. It said, for finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Verse 9, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers the day when I took them by the hand and led them out of the land of Egypt because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said the Lord, Yahweh Shah. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord, I will put my laws into their minds and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people.
That's right. Once we have those laws, statutes, and commandments instilled in us as a people, we'll never be taken down again. As it says in Lamentations in the 4th chapter, that he will no longer carry thee away into captivity. Why? Because the laws, statutes, and commandments are going to be in us now. We're going to have that fleshly heart, not the stony heart. You know what I'm saying?
Got the stony heart now.
We got that stony heart now. Because we're going to have those new bodies, and therefore we're going to be imputed with the law, statutes, and commandments. That's going to make us stronger. We're going to be the true superheroes and true Supermans on this planet Earth, man.
And I'm saying too, he's saying make a new covenant with the house of Israel. So you other nations cannot get, you cannot be a part of this at all. So he said, I'm going to make a new covenant with the house of Israel. That's what he's talking about. He ain't talking about everybody else, because it would never give it to everybody.
No.
So your other nation, y'all can sing, you can do what the hell you want to do right now, because you can't be part of something that you never was.
That's right. We have to right quick. He said that Micah 7:18.
This is Micah 7:18. Who is a power like unto thee, that pardoneth iniquity, and pass by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage.
So the word like pardon goes into like to release or to forgive, and that's exactly what Yahushua is going to do. He's going, by Yahweh, he's going to forgive the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect right now, because we pretty much we like sentenced right now into this prison term, and we only have our spiritual bail bondsman Yahushua to come release us out. Lord willing, we part of the elect.
He retained not his anger forever, because he delighteth in mercy. That's the beginning of it at this time frame, by brothers actually being able to understand this truth.
That's spiritual power within itself right there, man. Just having the knowledge of the Most High. After all these years we've been enslaved, and now we coming out through the spirit power of Yahweh Shah. We know who we are. We know who his true name is. We know who these other nations are. You know what I'm saying? That's power within itself. So it's going to just grow and ignite more and more. It's going to become physical pretty soon.
Yeah, which makes us from a spiritual, from a spiritual sense, perfect. Because the Most High actually look at the elect being perfect at this time frame. Lord willing, with a hopeful elect, and to prove that real fast, you got Revelation 14:5, and in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of the Most High. It's just proving that point. All right, back in Micah 7:19. He will turn again. He will have compassion upon us. He will subdue our iniquities, and thou wilt cast all their sins into the depths of the sea.
We're going to perform the truth too.
Verse 20, thou wilt perform the truth to Jacob, and the mercy to Abraham, which thou hast sworn unto our fathers from the days of old.
And truth is going to the knowledge, also it's going to the understanding, the law, statutes, commandments. As it says with, I think, Job, the 12th chapter, with him is knowledge and strength. Because these other nations know that once we have the wisdom, understanding, the fear of Yahweh Shah, we go in connection with him, they can never take us down. You know what I'm saying? That's that kryptonite right there, by us disobeying the Most High's ways, man. All right.
Wisdom of Psalm 16:24. Wisdom of Solomon 16:24. For the creature that served thee, who art the maker, increase his strength against the unrighteous, for their punishment, and abate his strength for the benefit of such as put their trust in thee.
It's going to the elect. Those the creatures are going to serve their maker, and the more they start serving their maker, Yahweh Shah, the more they increase. Like you said, we're already increasing the knowledge right now, and it's going to become physical, man. And as it says in the book of Romans, that the wages of sin is death. You know what I'm saying? Because the more we sin, the more we go off, the more that vibration that we have, Yahweh Shah, it weakens, because we're not keeping his law, statutes, commandments as a people, man.
Hey, just to back you up, 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if any man be in Mashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new.
You know, that's as it says. Like he likened the elect is to like a polished shaft. You know, you go to the word polish, it goes into like being refined or being purged, man. So you become like a new creature, and Yahweh Shah. Why? Because of the knowledge. Starting off with the knowledge. It always goes back to the knowledge first. And once you gain the knowledge, that's when you start wanting to keep the law, statutes, commandments. You know. So sinning that was the kryptonite for the Israelites. But with the elect of nation Israel, Lord willing, will part that number. We're gonna get it right. And therefore, we can be able to show our people, the ones that die on this side, how to carry this the right way of Yahweh Shah. You know, and we'll never sin again once we get those new bodies, and once we get part of, we get that salvation of those chariots. You know, and these other nations will always be under subjection under us because we're gonna have the true ways of Yahweh Shah, and we'll never go down again.
Can I say something? Because going to your lesson, because the sin brought what spiritual death, and this word brought spiritual life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah, with that, hey, I hope y'all edified. You know, like give all the glory again to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Hey, double us again to our apostles and elders of great millstone. Salutations to all you sincere brothers. Shalom.
Shalom.